Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Sri Nandanandanam Bande Radhika Charana Dvayam Govijana Samayuktam Vrindavana Manohara. Bhajami Radham Madhavindanetram Smarami Radham Madhurasmitasyam Vadami Radham Guruna Bhadaram Tato Manuyastikate Nakavi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Om Vishnupada Dandi Swami Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, our Shiksha Gurus Nitya Lila Pushri Gaur Govinda Gosai Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Madhusuru Gosai Maharaj, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, Dandavat pranams. So we are continuing Damodarastakam. Unfortunately, only 2 days left. Sniff, sniff. So Kartik's going well. For some reason, a little easier this year. I'm finding a little easier this year than previous years. Don't know why. So, Kuvedatma jo padam murtyeva yavat tvaya mochito bhakti bhajo kritocha tatha prema bhaktim swakam me priyacha. What is it? Namaksha graham esti damodele. So, this is the place of punishment. Everyone must be punished. Bhagavan first in line. Even Krishna not escape the punishment of the Vaishnavas. So they have such a position. We cannot underestimate their position. So close to Radha Krishna. Kintu prabhoya priyavatas. So close, Krishna accepts subordination to them. And Krishna is Jagat Guru. So Krishna accepts subordination. Why we will not accept? Who are we compared to him? So Krishna gives example. Even though he is the supreme independent entity, he finds so much taste to be controlled by his devotees, to be controlled. So even Bhagavan finds so much taste that there must be something there. He is Rasik Shekhar. So why we have so much aversion to be controlled by the Vaishnavas? That is our Durdavam, that is our misfortune. Krishna, in any surup, always find great happiness to be subordinate to the devotees. To give his devotees a superior place. Mad Bhakta Pujadika. The worship of my devotees, this is superior to my worship. Even Krishna moves out of line, and then Vaishnavas chastise him. Why so much affection? So, Bhagavan under the control of Vaishnavas, we should also be under the control of Vaishnavas. Vaishnava means even they are controlled, always. Like Srila Gautamaj would always say, every day I feel Prabhupada is pulling my ear. He would say, every day, Prabhupada is pulling my ear, giving some chastisement. And who accepts that chastisement, that is disciple. And who makes resistance to the chastisement, that is not disciple. Our problem is we think, I know, I see, I will chastise, I will correct. No? If we think like that means our days in devotion, we have not begun devotion. Because our problem is we think we are the seer. But Gokma said, you are not the seer, you are to be seen. A big difference. We are not the controller, we are to be controlled. We are not the master and corrector, we are the, what do you say? We are to be corrected. If we keep that attitude, we will be safe in devotion. But the moment we give up that attitude, then the problem will come. So, Shiva, some intimate relationship was there with Kuver. And Narad and Shiva are god brothers, because both worship Sankarshan. So because of the intimate relationship Narad has with Shankar, for that reason he gave so much mercy to the two sons of Kuber. So we heard already, but Kuber is the goddess wealth. So wealth is said that, as Sadhu Maharaj was saying yesterday, the mother of all downfall, the mother of all enjoyment is wealth. Because you have wealth, sinful activity will follow. If you have wealth, you have women. Like Donald Trump, not the most handsome man in the world, but has money, has women. Women, money also means intoxication. Money also means gambling. So money is like the root of all type of anatta. Money, 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 brighter than sunshine, sweeter than honey. So these two sons of Kuber, Kuber Atmajo, the sons of Kuber, so much intoxicated by wealth. And wealth means also pride. I think Indra said, 4 causes of madness. Wealth, Janma, Aishwarya, Shuddha, Sribiya, Daman, Pumanyamat. When Indra prayed to Krishna, then he said that because of madness I could not understand your position. When Krishna stopped the Indra Puja, then Indra becomes so much angry. Especially Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, for one who is being respected, then disrespect is worse than death. That's also in Mahabharata. Then Arjuna had taken a vow to kill anyone who disrespected his Gandiva bow. Right? So because Arjuna had so much affection for grandfather Bhishma, he was not fighting with his full power. So Yudhisthira Maharaj chastised him, what's the use in your Gandiva if you're not using it properly? You should give it to someone who has proper ability. Then Arjuna became very angry. He'd taken a vow to kill anyone who disrespected his Gandiva bow. So he took his weapons to kill Yudhisthira. Then Krishna said, Arjuna, are you mad? How can you kill your older brother? What can I do? I took a vow. Then Krishna said, there are different ways to kill someone. You disrespect him, it's the same as killing him. So Arjuna abused Yudhisthira Maharaj and this way killed him by his words. So, point was, what was the point? Indra. So, Janma, high birth. Of course, most of us missed out on that. But many people think, I'm American, I'm the greatest. I'm Australian, I'm the greatest. Janma. Aishwarya, wealth. Shruti means material learning. You have some PhD or some material position. And beauty. Of course, someone's beauty, they think, and mostly, if someone is very beautiful, everyone worships them, everyone wants them. So these 4 things called madness, cause madness. So the 4 sons of Kuber, completely mad. So beautiful, demigods. Right? We hear about the Ganda, we hear about the Apsaras in heaven, so beautiful. But imagine the guys in heaven. I don't know the male term of that. The male demigods, so handsome, so beautiful. From their body comes so nice fragrance. So beautiful, so wealthy. Their father is the god of wealth, high birth, everything they have, therefore cannot respect sadhus. So being drunk and intoxicated, they're enjoying in the Mandakini, the Ganga and the celestial planets. So as they were enjoying there, then Narad Muni came through that area. So we've heard this, but still, everyone should speak their own thing. So, when the ladies who were with the 2 boys, they saw Narad, they felt shame. They covered themselves and hid. But these 2 boys were also without clothing. They came out of the Ganga, they began to abuse Narad. So normally Narad wouldn't bother about this thing. But because of relation with Shiva, and Shiva is the half-brother of Kuber, because of that relationship, for that reason Narad, even though normally sadhu doesn't worry about being abused, for them, what's the difference between abuse and glorification? For them is no difference. because of relation with Shiva, he cursed these two boys. So he said, you are very proud, therefore you cannot see things as you are. So I will give you the anjan of poverty. Anjan means to see things very finely. Like when we go to Radha Damodar, when you go to Radha Damodar temple in Jaipur, right? So on the side are these guys who have these sticks. Have you done it? And they put it in your eye. It burns like crazy. I did it once. Don't know what. Yeah, it was amazing. It burned like crazy, and I was like, oh my God, you know. But then so many tears came, and then you could see the deities like I cannot see in the distance very well. But when I had this anjan on, I could see the deities clearly. It was amazing. And I realized what these guys are doing there. Like 50 years or 100 years, no one have eyeglasses, right? So everyone used this thing. So this anjan means you can see things very clearly. So Narad said, now you cannot see things as they are. You cannot see yourself, you cannot see me, you cannot see anything. So I will give you this eye ointment of poverty. Because poverty has many glories. Like Narad when he said, a man who is poverty stricken, then he always respects others. Especially a beggar. Like when you're on the streets and you have to sell books and stuff, everyone treats you like rubbish, right? Because they're in the position, I am the giver, I am the acceptor. So everyone treats you badly when you distribute books, you'll notice, mostly. So then you become so humble, otherwise you cannot survive. So a poor man is naturally humble because he's always begging him for the mercy of others. A poor man cannot eat very nicely. Therefore his senses are always weak. So a poor man automatically attains the result of performing all austerities. He becomes humble and his senses become controlled. Right? If you're only eating like half a meal a day, you're going to waste your money chasing girls and doing all this other thing. So poverty automatically gives the result of austerity, humility and sense control. So of all species of life, which is the poorest species, tree. Even a dog can move house to house and get chapati. Even the poorest man can beg for a glass of water, but tree is so poor, cannot ask for anything. No? Like in Russia in winter, poor trees, how cold, they cannot do anything. And so hungry they cannot ask for anything. Hunger and thirst, but they cannot beg from anyone. So of all species of life, the tree is the poorest. So I curse you become trees. So Gurudev would say, as soon as the words of Narad came from their mouth, immediately their body began to harden. Immediately they become like trees, immediately upon his words saying. So then they realized, oh my God. So they prayed. No, because some punishment came, then they begged forgiveness. We are very sorry, please forgive us. Then Narad's heart melted. Okay, you will be trees, but I give you blessing, you will be trees where? In the courtyard of Nandababa. And you will be liberated by Krishna himself. So this is like Vastu Siddhi, in one sense, right? Like I think Sudha Dwaiti Maharaj was talking yesterday, that doing bhajan, anatana vritti, nishta, ruchi, asakti, then comes the stage of bhav. At the stage of bhav, then you're transferred to where Krishna is doing his pastimes. Yogamaya takes you and he puts you in the womb of a gopi where Krishna is doing his pastimes in another universe. This is called Vastu Siddhi. Vastu means object. You actually attain the object of your worship. And then by the association of the Nitya Siddhis, then from Bhav, from that stage you can get Prema. And then Snehaman. Up according to a Sthai Bhav, you can go Snehaman, Pranay, Rag, etc. So normally, how much work we have to do to get Sadhan Siddh? Surup Siddh first. How much work we have to do? How much Mangalati? How much Parikram? how much Hirinkata, how much sadhana, Harinam, how much Vaishnav Seva. Then you can get these things. But these two boys did no sadhana at all. What they did, just abused Narad Muni. They attracted his mercy. So this is called Kripa Siddha. Two types of Siddha. One perfection is achieved by sadhana, and one is achieved by Kripa. So Kripa is also two types. Bhagavat Prasada, Kripa, and Sadhu Prasada. One type of Siddha is achieved directly by the mercy of Bhagavan, and one type of Siddha, perfection is achieved directly by the mercy of the Vaishnava. In this book, Ujjval Nilamani Kiran, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur talks about the different times Bhagavan bestows perfection. Like to Ahalya. Ahalya was cursed by her husband. Her husband's name was? Gautam Rishi. Become a stone. Then she began to cry, okay, don't worry, you'll be a stone, but Bhagavan will deliver you. So Ramchandra, after protecting the yaga of his guru Vashishta Rishi, then going towards Janakpur, he came to that stone and stepped on him. Then she became liberated and achieved perfection, I guess. She became, I don't know, she achieved prema, I'm not sure, but this is one example of Bhagavan bestowing mercy. Another example is, I guess, Krishna to Putana, Krishna to most demons, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Even in the forest of Jharkhand, Mahaprabhu gave mercy to rhinoceroses, elephants, snakes, deers, tigers. So Bhagavan bestows mercy. But this is a little rare. But mostly it's Vaishnavas bestowing mercy. And if Bhagavan gives any mercy, some history of Vaishnava is behind it. Like Gautam Rishi giving blessing, or some curse, some anger, then Bhagavan bestows mercy. So, this example of, even though it looks like Krishna bestowed mercy on the two trees and gave perfection, the root behind this was some contact with Vaishnava. So generally we should attract the Vaishnava's mercy by humble behavior and service. But somehow, if Vaishnava became angry and curse us or chastise us, good fortune can also come from that. But we should not try for that. Letting make Gurudev and Vaishnava angry, then they'll curse me and I'll get some mercy. No, it's not like that. That will be offense. Huh? But you make Gurudev angry, and then you offend him. How are you going to get mercy like that? Anyway, not so easy to understand. But anyway, these two sons of Kuvera offended Narad. He cursed them to become trees. But trees where? In Prakat Braj, where Krishna was doing his pastimes in another universe. That means they saw all the childhood Leela of Krishna. They saw all the childhood Leela of Krishna, because trees. So, that time, they saw everything, could perceive everything. Then when Yasoda had tied Krishna, then Krishna remembered the words of Narad. Krishna is omniscient, Vaishnava is also omniscient. So, as the boys were pushing the grinding mortar, then Krishna was also like a chariot. Then Krishna went between the trees, then this grinding mortar was caught behind. Then Gurudev said actually Krishna became angry and glanced, and Krishna's glance broke the trees. Right? Sometimes Gurudev would say like that. So actually how Krishna gave mercy to the trees through the rope, right? And the grinding mortar. So sometimes Gurudev would also say, who liberated the trees? Was it Krishna, or was it the rope of Madhya Soda's prem that was binding Krishna to the grinding mortar? Without that rope, then Krishna going through the trees, no benefit, but because that rope was there, for that reason the two trees split. Then from the tree came the two boys, Manigriva and Nalakuvera. Generally, when some demigod makes a mistake and is cursed by Bhagavan, when they come out, then Krishna gives them again the heavenly planets. Mostly you see like that. But these two boys were different. when they prayed to Krishna, what did they pray for? They actually prayed for bhakti. Like many times you see someone gets mercy of Bhagavan, but Bhagavan just sends them back to the heavenly planets like Nrika. Nrika had been cursed to become... Nrika had been cursed by the Brahmanas to become a lizard. A gecko, actually. No, a chameleon. Because chameleon's always changing his color, right? He goes in a green tree, he becomes green. He goes near a red rock, he becomes red. So the two Brahmanas said, you're like a chameleon, always changing. Sometimes this side, sometimes that side. So we curse you become a chameleon. So he became a chameleon. And when Krishna liberated him, then Krishna said, oh, you have so much security, you go back to heaven. So again he got his demigod Surupa and went back to heavenly planets. So he attained Bhagavan. Is it written there in the Bhagavatam? Because not said he was doing devotion before, but he was doing pious activities. So Krishna gives the result of pious activities. But the two sons of Kuver, they were different. They prayed for devotion. No? May our hands always serve you. May our voice always describe your glories. May our ears always hear your katha. May our heads always bow down to you, present in all moving and non-moving entities. So they prayed for bhakti. For that reason, even though Bhagavatam says again they became demigods and went to heaven. But from there they went to Golok Vrindavan. No? Because they prayed for that benediction. And Sadhu Maharaj was saying yesterday, they became who? Snigdhakant and Madhukant. If you read Gopal Champu of Jiva Goswami, Gopal Champu, who is speaking all that? Snigdhakanta and Madhukanta. And who's listening? All the Nitya-siddhas like Nanda Baba, Yasoda, they're all listening from these guys who are southern siddhas. No? Therefore, even in perfection, different qualities might be there. Srila Gaura Maharaj would say, even in Vaikuntha the birds are different. Some birds fly high, some birds fly low. So even in perfection stage, devotees have their speciality. Some are expert in kirtan, some are expert in shravan, some are expert in cooking. Everyone has their little area. So we cannot expect all Vaishnavas to be the same. That is a mistake. Everyone have their own power, own glories, own seva, own ruchi. So Gopal said we cannot expect all devotees to be the same. Even amongst perfected devotees, some gradation may be there, some speciality may be there. No? So they became residents of Golok Vrindavan and speaking katha to the Nitya-siddhas every day. Nanda Baba asking so many questions to Snigdhakant and Madhukant, and that answer is Gopal Champu. In the Prasad hall, every day. Like every night we watch YouTube videos, but Krishna and the Brijavasis are not like us. Right? Every night there's some drama performance, like after Prasad, little relax. So in Golok Vrindavan every night there's different performances. Sometimes the clowns tell jokes. Sometimes there are jugglers and musicians. Sometimes there are fellows who just speak the Puranic histories, some Harikatha. Other persons who tell the glories of different Gop generations previously, what they did. So some night is singing and dancing. So every night there's some like performance in Nandagaon before bed. Every day is a festival. Right. Especially here, every day is some new and new drama. Some new and new festival. So, all this happened, then these trees, they were so huge. So when they fell, huge noise was there. So everyone heard that noise and came running. So these two trees, if they'd fell straight, they would have smashed Krishna. So the trees fell like that, on either side. So when the Brijavasis heard the noise, they came running. And they saw Krishna surrounded by the two trees. Then Nanda Baba, of course, you can imagine. Especially he only got one son in very old age. And how dear, how protective. So he asked, what happened? And then the small boys who were pushing this grinding mortar, they said, you know, Krishna pulled the trees down. From the trees came two demigods. They offered prayers to Krishna. Then they flew off to heaven. But Nanda Baba did not believe this. Come on. How baby Krishna could pull down these trees? Especially Nanda Baba looked at the roots. These roots were not rotten. There were no termites. So how it happened, he couldn't understand. But he was angry. Who tied? Then Krishna had to do some complaining. Mother has tied. So Nanda Baba, very angry, he took Krishna and Balaram on his shoulders. He went to Brahmandagat. And all day he stayed at Brahmandagat. Nanda Baba has a what you call waistcoat with many pockets. Ladus, mishri. I guess like we also in our parakram bags. So all day feeding ladus and milking Krishna directly, milking the cows directly into the mouth. So even by evening time, he not returned. So we heard all this from Maharaj. No? Also Gurudev would tell this katha. Gurudev read this in Gopal Champu and he said to Gurudev, Gurudev, listen to this. Then he read this. Then Param Gurudev so much weeping when he hearing this. Then Gurudev said, we all became astonished to see his Astasattvic bhavs. So this is real seva of disciple to Guru, to speak some katha, not to speak some rubbish. We should give happiness to Guru Vaishnavas by speaking proper topics according to our adhikar. So Gurudev read this katha to his Gurudev felt so much ecstasy. So that way we remember. So Yasoda, she was in the inside sections where the ladies stayed. But Nanda Baba was not bringing Krishna Balaram inside. So Rohini came to bring Krishna with Balaram. So she said to Balaram, bring your brother. So Balaram went to catch Krishna to bring him inside to Mother Yasoda. But Krishna pushed Balaram very hard. He fell down. Then Balaram shocked because never Krishna had done like this. Normally Balaram is always big brother. But Krishna showed his strength and pushed him down. Then Balaram was shocked. Then Rohini came. Oh, Kanaya, you won't go and see your mother? No. Who will feed you? Baba. Who will give you milk? The cows. Who will play with you? Dauji. You won't see your mother? Sometimes children very stubborn. No, I won't go. Then Rohini very expert. Oh, Kanaya, what will happen if your mother? He's not saying, but what happens if your mother dies? Then Kanaya began crying. This is weapon. Krishna began so much weeping and ran onto his mother. Then Guru Maharaj would say, when Krishna embraced Yasoda, Yasoda was weeping, Krishna weeping, Balaram weeping, Nanda Baba weeping, all Gokul became absorbed in Karuna Ras. This is one of the 5 secondary rasas. But everyone began weeping, everyone filled with Karuna. Karuna means compassion. Compassion for Yasoda, compassion for Krishna. So everyone became weeping. So this is weeping and sadness, but in bhakti, everything gives happiness, even sadness. So anyway, Tata Prema Bhaktim Swakame Paryach, you gave Prema Bhakti to these 2 boys. And maybe Satyavad Rishi say, I not abused any sadhu. So if they can get, why I can't get? I am also in line. So no maksha graho mesti Damodarastakam. So again and again, I don't want liberation. I want this Prema Bhakti. So, and what happened? We will hear from the Vaishnavas. Go Premanandi.